guys. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, how are you guys doing? I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces and all empaths. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is this: such beautiful things are being created for you. So there's a lot of goodness that's happening right now, a lot of change, a lot of potential struggle, but also a lot of goodness. Why does my hair look like this? So my hair was soaking wet. I had to let it dry. um, a lot of different things are in the works, and I know I'm totally like an hour early. I'm sorry. I have a lot of things that I have to do, and so the options were come an hour early or not at all. So we're here an hour early. Let me just get a couple of these cards for us. All right. We have to be very focused today because we have to get going. All right. All right, we're ready. Let's get. No, I don't want these cards. I love to start the reading with this deck right here. Alrighty. How are you guys doing, by the way? Everyone having a good day? Oh my goodness. We're going to be good. We're going to be good. So, as I was saying, there's a lot that is going on in regards to energy, in regards to the shifting of your connections with people, in regards to so much. Okay. And a lot of what's going to happen requires you to be compliant with what your soul is trying to make happen for you. If you're going to allow and not fight it, then ridiculously beautiful things will happen for you. If you're going to fight it because you're afraid, because um, you want to be the one to, basically determine how this is going to go, then it might not go the way you want it to go. You might find yourself very frustrated. And these are a lot of the different things that we have been talking about for quite a few weeks now. Um, a lot of what needs to happen is going to happen. And I would love for you to be able to go through this with minimal heartache, minimal disappointment, but really that's up to you. Okay? It's up to you how you want to experience this period. It's really up to you, okay? All right. We're ready now. Okay. Let's see. Okay, summer's upside down. That's okay. We need to feel that upside down state in order to be motivated and become aware of a need to correct our positioning within our lives. Initiation in reverse. So, this is telling me you're not going to be the one to initiate this. This is going to be initiated and you're simply going to experience it. Okay. So, for quite a few of us, that's uncomfortable. Just let it go, let it flow, allow yourself to experience this in whatever way your higher self is wanting you to experience it. It has a good feeling to it. It doesn't feel like this is something you should avoid. As a matter of fact, it feels like if you try and avoid this, that's what's going to create the bad experience, not the experience itself. Okay. So you guys should know by now, if it's something that you need to avoid, I would be like, "Yo, you have to avoid this. Don't do it. Don't do it." But I'm over here like, just let it flow, let it happen. Intention. This is not something that you intended. I feel like this is something that someone else is intending. But it's a good thing. It's not like a stalker thing. It's not like um it's it's just it feels like a really good thing. And I really, really feel like for most of you, because this is a general reading, of course, for most of you, if you're going to resonate with this, you're going to have to let it flow. You're going to have to trust your higher self. I feel like for a large portion of people, there is this abundance that's coming in. Yes, the world's entering into a recession. Yes, they're saying it's going to be really bad. Yes, they're trying to scare the crap out of you. They're trying to do food shortages and all kind of like craziness, right? Yes, who cares? I had been watching quite a few of these videos over the past few weeks, giving myself anxiety. Not even joking. I've been giving myself anxiety. And then the other day, um, one of these financial analysts that I like to watch sometimes, he's like, oh my gosh, we're heading towards a repeat of 2008. Okay, so markets crashed in 2008. But that's also the period that I decided to purchase a house. Thank you, Germanica. That's the period I decided to purchase with my husband our very first home. So if I look back at that period where, you know, there was a massive recession and this and that, we're low income, okay? No savings, low income, paycheck to paycheck with children. And yeah, no, that was a beautiful period for us. Why? Because we just kept living. We didn't allow ourselves to go through this hoopla of watching and being told day in and day out, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. Okay, but if you're responsible with what you have, it's going to be the same old, same old. It's going to be the same old, same old. Don't get me wrong. There will be people who will have a hard time. There will be layoffs, and you will look for another job and find one. Might not be what you're accustomed to, but when you want something bad enough, you have the capacity to make it happen. Stop allowing people to create fear within you. I'm primarily talking to myself, yo. I'm primarily talking to myself. And that's the thing, is that we've all gotten through so much, and we don't realize how beautiful it's been if we continue to listen to the people who are telling us, oh my gosh, it was so bad for you. So bad for you. You know how many people have told me like certain periods of my life were just so bad for me? Oh my gosh, I felt so bad for you, Emmy. Why? It was an amazing period in my life. It was an amazing period for me, truly. I'm not even trying to convince myself of this. Like, even my children are like, that was just such a nice time. It was like an adventure for us. It was a nice time because we didn't convince them that it was a horrible time. It was just time for our family. Okay. So, whatever's going to happen, this is not something you initiate. This is not something you intend. This is something that's presented to you. Incubation. Ooh, your eggs are going to be cracked. They're going to crack that shell, and they're going to, oh, ho, 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 ho. For some of you, your egg shell will be cracked, and then you'll be scrambled, and then you'll have the opportunity to allow that heat, the heat of your passion, to change you into something that can sustain you. Ooh, don't just stop at the destruction. Destruction is always a precursor for the rebuilding, for the fortification, for the new parts. Don't just stop at the destruction. It's like you need to, or you want to remodel your home, right? You want a brand new kitchen. You make all of these plans, and then suddenly people come and they destroy your kitchen. Well, that's part of it, though. You're not going to have a brand new remodeled kitchen unless you do the demolition first. So when the demolition happens, do you kind of just stop and then, stay there in that demolished state? Do you stay there and like, "Oh my god, I had all of these amazing plans. Look, my kitchen is thrashed." No, because you are aware that this is part of a process. Apply that same logic to your life. See how your perception of your life process changes because we're not aware of the greatness that's being built for us, the beauty that is going to be hand delivered to our door. We stop ourselves. We stay in that space of deconstruction, in that space of demolition. If you go past it, you'll see it's the precursor to build something amazing for you. The ethos is upside down. This is the mindset, the logic. And if your logic involves simply staying in that space, of deconstruction, well, that's where you're going to stay then. Okay. You have the choice, you have the authority to continue forward and not continue forward as though you're pretending nothing happened, that you're pretending that you're not bothered by the processes. No, continue forward because you deserve to see this all the way through. You deserve to not just see the demolition that initiates the process, because once you demolish the kitchen, you have no other option but to rebuild it, right? There's no other option but to rebuild it. Um, this right here, Eliza. I still sit and think about the mess of broken what could have been. I'm doing my best to clean it up, though. Sometimes these are things that don't need to be cleaned. These are things that just need to be purged. Um, so that kind of brings my thoughts to this visual of, um, you're going to have your kitchen remodeled, right? Let's carry through with this analogy. You're going to have your kitchen remodeled. You've never really liked the cabinets. They're very, very old. They're barely held together. And they're going to demolish it in order to rebuild you a new kitchen. You've bought all new things. It's just waiting. All of the supplies, the necessary items are sitting in your garage waiting to be installed. Before you install that, you have to demolish the kitchen. Are you going to wipe down all the cupboards first? You going to wipe down all the cabinetry doors? Are you going to first very lovingly and painstakingly remove all the hardware? Because you're not going to use the hardware, right? Do you need to organize it and put all the hardware, the drawer pulls in one container, all of the screws that attach the drawer pulls in another container, and then, we have to scrub those clean first before no, we need to get rid of it. We need to purge it because we're not using that anymore. Life is bringing you new stuff, amazing stuff. And we have to allow. Eliza, another powerful statement. Am I an emotional hoarder? That's a good question to ask ourselves. Not just Eliza, but everyone who watches this, everyone who goes through all of these different emotions, but never actually allows ourselves. We never allow ourselves to simply let go. We think we have to organize it first. We think that we have to, clean up the mess. Do you have to go in your garden and sift through the dirt and any particles of dirt that are bigger than a specific size must be put in a different container. We have the ultra fine dirt, the fine dirt, the medium dirt, the coarse dirt, the deep soil, the top soil. Like, who cares? Who cares? We don't have to care about those things. You can if you want. No one can stop you from doing that. But the reality is, um, doing that zaps you of your energy that you could be using to cultivate your garden, to begin planting the seeds, to begin prepping the soil, adding whatever else the soil needs to make it super healthy. We're looking at the aesthetics of the soil, the particle sizes, rather than the actual composition. A healthy plant cannot grow from soil that is not healthy. It just can't. It can't. That's how you get pests. That's how the plant ends up dying. That's how it ends up wilting. That's how it ends up never growing any blossoms. We have to allow ourselves. We have to allow ourselves to recognize that the most difficult task is not the organizing of our mess, but the recognition of what needs to be thrown out and what should be gently and lovingly placed somewhere safe. Not all your emotions have to be let go of. Some of your emotions do need to stay because they're still teaching you something. Awakening. You're going through this process of realization, of an increase in your awareness, an expansion of your awareness. The foundation is in reverse, causing the winter to come in reverse. It's okay. It's okay. The moment you realize you're upside down is the moment you're empowered to right yourself back up. Effort, conquering your demons in reverse. And this is not about you not putting the effort in, because I believe a large portion of you has been putting the effort. You have been trying. You've been making the decisions. You've been choosing the options. You've been sifting through the wreckage of your heart and your life, and you have been putting the effort. But are you putting the effort in the right thing at the right time? It's not for lack of effort. Again, it goes back to this concept, this analogy of disinfecting the cupboards you're about to rip out of your walls. That's unnecessary effort. It's unnecessary. That is effort, energy, and time that you could put into the actual gutting of your kitchen. Use your effort wisely, use your energy wisely. Legacy, persistence. You have to remain persistent in what it is you're trying to create for yourself. You have to. You have to get persistent. You have to continue. You have to push forward. You have to allow yourself to be just super fixated on the goal at hand. You have to be super fixated. You have to. People will tell you, oh my gosh, you're obsessed. Yes. Yes, I am. I'm obsessed about the things I should be obsessed over. The continuation of my journey in the most peaceful, most elevated manner possible. I'm obsessed with my self healing. I'm obsessed with learning how to love myself that much deeper. I'm obsessed with integrating into my environment and allowing people to witness me as I am. I'm obsessed with becoming the best version of myself I possibly can be for any and every moment of my life. There are some things that are worth obsessing over. You're one of those things. Your development, your growth, your peace. You're worth that. You see, we're willing to do that for other people, but we're not willing to do it for ourselves. Why? Because once upon a time, a long time ago, you were convinced by someone who didn't think they were enough. You were convinced by them that you yourself are also not enough. Because you knowing you're enough then creates the issue for them. The issue is that if you know you're enough, you might then also know they're not enough. Why would we ever take in other people's toxicity as our own? Because we don't know any better. We just don't know any better. And until we know better, we can't do better. So here it is now, you know better. Now, if you continue with that same pattern, that's on you now. Until you knew, you couldn't hold yourself accountable for something you weren't aware of. Dominance, believing in yourself, allowing yourself to believe in your capacity to do what needs to be done, to receive what needs to be received, allowing that knowing to be the very thing that helps you give yourself permission. Permission for what? Whatever you think you need permission for. Card number 19, independence, carving your own path. It's this feeling of someone carving their path towards a specific person, place, or thing. And that person, place, or thing being very much in the process of being prepared for that moment of arrival, that moment of reclamation. Someone is going to reclaim something. Card number 20, returning. Going with the flow. So someone's going back to a space of flowing. Allowing yourself to flow through your life is so important. When your fear is used against you by causing you to become so rigid in your beliefs, rigid in your actions, that rigidity can cause densification of your energy. It can cause blockages. It can cause you to struggle with flowing when you're ready to flow. You don't need to fully understand the circumstance before you allow yourself to be in compliance with what your soul is attempting to provide you, an experience, a connection, a circumstance of some kind. Your soul is providing you everything you need in this moment. It makes my crown feel itchy. The tingles, enlightenment moving forward. It's in reverse. So this is telling me that someone is hiding in the shadows. I think that someone is you, that you're hiding yourself away in the shadows because maybe you're afraid of how this is going to work out. Maybe you're afraid of this or that. Maybe you think that, you have no choices, you have no this, you have no that. So walk your truth, hope, and choices, all in reverse. This sense of not having choices diminishes your ability to hope. And, excuse me, when you feel hopeless and optionless, makes it harder to walk your truth because then you become afraid of who will attack you if they witness you being yourself. You know you're equipped with the same capability as other people. One of the things, and it might be a toxic belief, but it's definitely helped me to enter into a healthier place within myself and my life. But one of the beliefs that I hold is that whatever you can do to me, I also have the capacity to do to you. And if you engage me in that way, I don't think I'm going to agree to be your victim. I think that's going to end up being a case of mutual combat. I hope you can reach levels of savagery that I can, because if not, that mutual combat will suddenly be you as a victim. But I refuse to be victimized by other people at this point. I don't go looking for people to hurt or harm. But I will say without any hesitation, I have the capacity and the willingness to maintain my peace at whatever cost you are willing to pay. I will not pay the price for you and your internal disharmony. I just won't. I refuse. And if I refuse to pay that price, and you're blocking my way, and I remember when we were kids, there would be this thing of like standing in your way and like, you have to pay to pass. I remember because I took, I think it was Taekwondo. I don't remember. It was like this dojo with Taekwondo and karate hybridized, right? And my parents put me in that class. I was raised like a boy because I have all brothers. So I was raised like a boy. My brothers went into it, and so I went into it too. I didn't have a choice. My father said I needed to know how to protect myself if my brothers weren't around. And so I was paired with this boy who was much larger than me. There weren't very many girls in that program. And I was paired with a boy much larger than me. And I remember one day he was joking around and he said that to me. He went like this in front of me and he said I had to pay to pass. And I distinctly remember that was the first time I made him cry. What do I mean? Well, when he said that and he wouldn't let me pass, I went ahead and I walked away, and he thought I was done. And what I really was doing was giving myself the space to get a running start because I was going to bulldoze right through him. And I did. And I did. And he cried. Why? I don't know. I don't know. He presented me a challenge and I found a solution and I bulldozed through him. Hey, the way I saw it, he was 2 belts advanced from me, so he should have protected himself. He initiated something he couldn't handle. Mhm. Yes. He initiated what he couldn't handle, and it's this thing of, sometimes you have to allow yourself to reach levels of whatever needs to be reached in order to implement a solution. He said I couldn't get through, and I showed him I could. Hey, I don't realize when people are playing with me. I literally have a massive struggle with reading social cues. He said it like he was serious. So I took it like he was serious. And I got through because I needed to get to my shoes on the other side of him. I got in trouble for that. I did. They were like, that was a disrespect to the mat. And I was like, but it's just the floor. And then I had to tell them, like, because he was crying, and so I started crying too. Like, why are you crying? You were the one who told me to do that to you. You said that I had to, that you wouldn't let me pass. That's why other kids didn't play with me. If you tell me things like that, I'll take you seriously. If I have to get my shoes, I'll take it seriously. I bulldozed through that kid. And he was so much bigger than me. Poor guy. After that, like, he didn't play with me like that anymore. He was still my sparring partner, but, oh, let me just leave that memory alone. That was the first time I made him cry in a long string of me being extra rough. And hey, here's the thing with me. If I'm rough with you, I don't expect you to be gentle with me. Okay. I'm just like, and they had to keep reminding me it's sparring, it's not full contact. And I was a kid. If I'm rough with you, it's not this double standard of I expect you to be gentle with me. If I'm gentle with you, you better be gentle with me, or else I'll be rough with you too. But I'm not, it's not a double standard there, okay? So just want to say that. Shadow self and transformation. When you enter into your shadow self, it can give you the opportunity to transform your life, but not if you're choosing to not allow the transformation to take place. You have to give yourself permission to do the things you need to do. And going back to that, like he went like this and he was like, he paid a pass. I tried several times. I was like, excuse me, I'm trying to I have to get my shoes. And I told him I wasn't joking. And he was, so I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm here to be, my ride is here. My parents are picking me up." And it didn't help that when I did that, when I did that, and then they're like, "We need to speak to your parents." My dad came in to pick me up, and they pulled him aside and told him what I did, and he was like, "That's good. Boys shouldn't mess with my daughter." Yeah, no, he totally encouraged it. He was like, "Well, that's what he gets for messing with my daughter." What an enabler. He encouraged. He didn't just enable, he encouraged it. So, golden crown energy, that energy from the top of your head, but you're upside down, so it's like it can't reach you. It can't reach you if you continue to allow yourself to be malpositioned within your life. How can you be malpositioned? When you keep putting people above you, when you keep trying to avoid whatever circumstance your soul is wanting you to experience, when you keep doing the things that you should not be doing for yourself, like mm, doing more for others consistently than you do for yourself, that has to be balanced. It's okay to be a giver. It's not okay to use your giving nature as a way to punish yourself. There was this video that I was watching this morning, and it was profound. It was showing someone was being interviewed. I don't know who these people are. And it was a woman who claims to enjoy taking care of her man, really spoiling him and just anticipating everything. She does everything for him. She knows when he's getting tired. He doesn't have to ask for anything because she anticipates all of that. And um, I like to spoil my husband. I do. I like to let him know that I appreciate him and that he's irreplaceable in my life and he means a lot to me. But I think that this video really, really helped me to better solidify why the way I regard my husband is healthy and not weakness or insecurity. This woman starts talking about subservient women versus submissive women. Subservience, oh my God, I don't know. Are you subservient to the will of soul, or are you submissive? Are you submitting to the will of soul, or is your subservience causing you to submit to things that are outside of your own divinity? Now, I'm very independent. I am extremely empowered within myself. I have a very clear understanding that I don't need other people. I like to have specific people in my life because I enjoy their presence. I enjoy their company. They make me happy. They make me feel a fullness that's difficult for me to feel on my own. But do I need? No, no, I don't. There's nothing that other people will do for me that I cannot do for myself, given enough time and effort on my part. So then it's this thing of, well, then why am I married and why do I need a man? No, I don't need. I want. I want this life with this particular man. That's a choice that I make. And yes, there are plenty of instances where his ability to care for me, provide for me, has caused me to feel so comfortable and so safe that I can enter into this space of pure femininity and allow myself to submit to his will. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. When he's coming from a healthy place, he absolutely can tell me what to do and I will comply. It's not weakness. You best believe if he comes at me crooked, like, I don't give a shit who you are, sir. Who are you talking to? Who the hell is in the room with us that you think you can talk this way? I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I'm not going to submit to that BS. Are you kidding me? You must be kidding me. Oh, you must rub your eyes because you're just not seeing clearly, right? You need to rub your eyes again. You don't know you don't realize who you're talking to right now. Um, I'm your wife, not your maid. Yeah, I don't play that kind of crap. I just don't. I don't. I don't. And if people don't like that, that's their problem. Because last I checked, I wasn't married to them, right? So there's this difference between being subservient and submissive and taking it to the next level. I'm talking about to your soul, to your soul. Now, there's been plenty of occasions where you've seen me submit to what Michael is commanding. He's not commanding me from his own free will. He is nothing but a telephone between myself and my higher self. Michael never tells me what to do. He provides the instruction that I'm refusing to receive from my soul. And let me tell you, my soul doesn't care if I cry, doesn't care if I become inconvenienced or frustrated or any of that. If I will not comply after a certain period, my soul will force me to comply. And that's why I struggle. Because when I fight myself, I always lose. Have you been fighting yourself? Have you been fighting your ability to reach the places of development, the places that need development so you could develop it? Have you been struggling to receive the messages from your soul because your ego gets in the way and it causes maybe insecurities to surface? Maybe it causes rebelliousness. Maybe it causes a need to control. Such beautiful things are being created for you. And if you refuse to receive it, it's just going to sit outside your door. You see, it's not going to be delivered to someone else. And as it sits outside your door, if you're living through a stormy period, if you are in a stormy season of your life, I mean, it's going to weather whatever it is that's being delivered to your door. Oh, this right here. I sit in my darkness more. Sometimes it's appropriate to sit in your darkness so you can get better acquainted, not just with your shadow aspects, but with the realization of how bright your light actually is. It's very, very easy to become light blind. It just is. I am the type of individual that is energetically ambidextrous. I can handle darkness and light equally as easily. I can handle both. It's not a big deal to me. But here's the thing, when I exist in a space of light for too long, I become light blind and I lose the understanding the awareness of the gravity of my existence and my thoughts and all of that. So sometimes we have to sit in our darkness just a little bit more, but we don't stay there longer than we need to. We stay there for as long as it takes for us to remember. Remember what? To remember the gravity of you, to remember who you are, what you're here for, allowing yourself to traverse the entire landscape of your heart, mind, and soul. There's this beautiful space that exists where all those three things overlap. It's that point of kokoro, that beautiful center point where the heart, the mind, the soul, they come together and they form this totality, this core essence of you. It's your kokoro. That's why my energetic system is called kokoro. Kokoro 33. Because what does it teach you? How to refine that center point where the truth of your essence from all those components come together in equal measure, and it creates a totality of you. And harnessing from that center point all of these capabilities you were born equipped with makes you extremely powerful and unstoppable. Mhm. That's what I teach in my classes. That's what I teach in workshops. That's what I teach in my weekly membership. That's what I teach in my certification program. That's what I teach for you to find your center once again. And I'm not even going to apologize for anyone that feels like me talking about for the first time in since I've been publicly visible. I'm finally openly talking about what I offer, what I can do to assist you in your self-healing and self-empowerment. I honestly don't give a shit who I offend. I honestly, genuinely don't give a shit if people think like, oh, now all your live streams are just a long commercial. People need to know. They need to know the gravity of what I can do to assist. Such beautiful things are created for you. That includes my ability to assist you through private sessions, private readings, through instruction, all of that. All of that. It is important that I no longer pretend that I'm nothing but a mouthpiece. Baby boo, not only can I speak, I also can do. I can put the action behind the words, and that makes me a totality. And anyone that asks you to fractionate yourself, you can't speak about this, you can't speak about that because I don't give a shit. I absolutely give zero shits. No, no. So, you guys, this is just a heads up. This is a heads up. You're going to hear me speak more and more about what I offer because it's time for me to. It's time for me to truly embrace the beauty that my life is creating for me. This beautiful space of being able to better serve. And how can you serve if the people who need your service don't know you have the capacity to? How many of us have been encouraged by the people who support, the people who love us, that we can't be a totality, that we can't fully receive the beauty being created for us because that's not what I want. That's not what I want. So you can't do that. Thank you, Germanica. Thank you guys for these comments. I'm learning to receive compliments more. So Lisa says, yes, your workshop was incredible. Practice as much as I can. Your expedites too. Thank you. That really means a lot. That means a lot to me. And Alathane says, don't be. The courses I've taken with you are a benefit. I haven't been the same person from the first and continue to grow with each lesson. Oh my God, I love that. I love that. And it's not that I love it because you weren't enough or you were too much or something toxic before you changed. I love that because now you're losing your fear of shifting and changing more deeply into who you are. You're releasing all of this inhibition. I love that. That's the same journey that I'm on. That's the same exact journey that I'm on. It's hard, it's scary, but I'm learning to be more and more fearless in my acceptance of me, in my acceptance of me. Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. It's a very, very beautiful thing. I will share this. I did receive a unsolicited message, and I usually can accept constructive criticism, right? I'm really good at accepting constructive criticism. That's one of the things when I hear from the people that I actually respect, um, different ways in which I should probably consider shifting maybe my approach or um, my perception, whatever it is, behaviors, my communication, all of that. I take that in deeply and I very deeply consider it. I don't feel criticized, right? But I did receive a message where it did very much just, I don't know. I was just like, what is this crap? I felt it was crap. Um, and it was this thing of statements that were made along the lines of, I used to learn so much from you, from your live streams. I used to feel so blah, blah, blah. And I used to. Basically making a list of all of the things they would receive from me for free. And they were upset or disappointed that now when I'm asked about any services that I can provide that are basically in alignment with a topic being spoken about, that I've turned my work that was once beneficial into a long commercial. Don't watch. I'm exiting that time of my life where I was ashamed to receive compensation for services. My services are unlike any other services you will ever have. I can say that with absolute confidence and truth. I can provide you with the assistance that you need in a way that no one else can. Not only do I have the intelligence and the compassion, I have the ability and willingness to completely shift your life. Why the hell would I keep hiding that? Why? Why would I keep hiding that? You mean like I've hidden it since 2016? It's 2022. You want me to continue to live in the same space of what? Self-abnegation? Really think about what you're requesting of me. Like, I'm not going back there. You can sit there. You can rewatch all of the reruns. I have thousands of videos, literally thousands of videos at this point. You can go back and watch 2016 Emmy, 2017 Emmy, 2018 Emmy, 2019 Emmy, 2020 Emmy, 2021 Emmy. You might have to stop at 2022 Emmy because now I'm not doing that anymore. I'm allowing my life to create for me the beautiful things that it's creating for me. And it's not beautiful because, oh, I'm going to get paid more. No, it's beautiful because I will be able to touch more lives. I will be able to reassure people like, hey, you're listening to this topic, you're resonating with this topic, you're struggling through this topic. You're going to be okay. Not only do I believe you're going to be okay, I have this service that can assist you if you don't believe in yourself, in your capacity and ability to make it okay for you. You're not alone. You're not alone. It's going to really be okay. I really, truly believe that. And if you can't do that for yourself, guess what? I can do that for you. I can assist you with that. It's not this thing of, um, yeah, no, I just want to get paid. No, no, no. See, and this is a prime example of how the people who support you, the people who love you, the people who respect you, they'll only respect you to the degree that they can still benefit from you. So then, is that love? Is that support? Is that respect? Or is that something completely different? But they have clouded their own vision of how they are, who they are, the way in which they conduct themselves. And none of that is any of my concern at this point. All I need to do is receive the lesson my life is presenting me through the reading of that message. It doesn't have to be this personal thing where, like, I feel attacked. No, that's not how I felt at all. I didn't feel attacked. I felt like, oh, pfft, bitch, please, I'm not going back there again. Uh-uh. No way in hell. I'm not going back to that space. I'm just not. I'm not. And I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. I'm focused on what my life is doing for me. My life is presenting me with opportunities to learn and realize how much I've grown or how much more I need to grow. That's a beautiful thing. It's a very, very beautiful thing. And see, just like what Eliza was talking about earlier, this like aha moment of, oh my gosh, am I an emotional hoarder? Like, I don't need to hoard that feeling. Once upon a time, if someone felt disappointed in me, it would absolutely destroy me. It would destroy me, and I would cry, like, oh my God, I disappointed you. And I feel myself about to cry, not because it's like I'm mad or anything like that. It's this thing of, I can't believe I did that to myself for so long. It's not even about the person who initiated this processing that I'm currently in. It's about needing to release the shame and the guilt that I feel for having forced myself to endure that for so long. For so long. And how could I ever sit here with integrity, with my integrity intact, and be preaching to you about self love, self realization, self actualization? And I don't even do that for me. No, I'm not going to be a liar. I won't lie to myself and I won't lie to you. I'm going to live the gravity of everything I encourage you to live. Like, yo. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, you remember that. That was a while ago. Alathane says, when I joined the channel 3 years ago, you said something like this. You may be here today, find what you're looking for, and no longer need my messages tomorrow. That's fine if you do. Truly. True. And it's not that, oh, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. No, it's this thing of, I have served my purpose in your life. And what is that purpose? It could be as simple as my actions, my personality, my mindset, whatever it is a very thing that's inspired you, triggered you to think for yourself and choose to not be around me. That's still an honor. That's still an honor to my soul. That's still an honor to me to be able to really just be, knowing that I'm not here to claim souls and take ownership of you, collect you like some collectibles. Like, you have to always watch me every day and be with me every single day, or you're lying about support. Like, no. There's been quite a few people who were gone for a year, 2 years, several years, and I see your name and I'm like, oh, hey, oh my gosh, how have you been? It's been some time. I hope you've been good. And I truly, genuinely mean that. I truly genuinely mean that. And no, I absolutely do not feel used if you go through something and you disappear for several years and you come back because now you're going through something again and you need me again. I don't feel used. I feel like you trust me. I feel like I'm your safe space. And that is a fucking honor to me. I feel honored that you feel so safe with me, that you can go and fly. And the moment you're afraid again, you can come back and know, I'm here. I'm here. I don't care where you've been. I don't care what happened. What do you need right now? You need my words. Come, sit down, listen, get warm, drink some tea, listen, get comfortable. Just listen. It's all good. No, you didn't abandon me. You don't show your loyalty to me in that way. You show your loyalty to me by honoring your needs, by learning, by growing, by becoming independent of me, by becoming autonomous. And if you need a little reminder, and then you come back because you need that reminder, I'm here to remind you. I don't want you to go, but I'm not going to force you to stay either. That's not how my love works. The way my love works is I celebrate all of your successes, all of your realizations, including realizations that don't involve me anymore. My only desire is for you to grow, for your sovereignty to remain intact. Beautiful things are coming. Beautiful, beautiful things are headed our way. They are being created for us right now. These are things that involve your life as a human being. These are things that don't require your intuition. These are things that ask for you to remain patient as it's created, the situation, the connection, the circumstance. These are things that don't require you to take a time out to process. These are things that will awaken your awareness. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Ocean Soul, thank you for this. I mean, it's stating the obvious, but some people don't realize that. Claim souls, Emmy frees our souls from the chains and empowers us to be sovereign. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Do you know how lucrative it would be if I went ahead and just kind of blurted things out and left you in a space of fear? Where I didn't take the time to reassure you, like, listen, this scary stuff, it's okay. You're going to be fine. You're just learning something. You can learn this on your own terms. It might take a little bit longer. You'll do it. You'll do it. You don't have any other options. You'll do it. You'll learn it. You'll get through this and you'll realize how strong you are. Or you can let me help you. I'll help you. It'll be a lot faster, a lot more efficient, but you're still going to have to do the work. You're still going to have to process that fear. But at the end of the day, no matter what, you're going to be fine. And I truly mean that. Like, it would be so lucrative for me to teach my system. Well, because you'll always need sessions from me. But guess what? I don't really want to do sessions. I do sessions because there's a need for them, not because I like to. That's why I do private sessions, because there's a need, not because I want. You see, that's not where I'm supposed to be. That's where I am right now because that's where I'm needed and that's where I'm learning to grow. People think that I'm going to acquire some type of wealth on your backs, and no, no. Every time you purchase a session from me, every time you support me in some monetary way, you are helping me to receive. You are helping me to learn lessons. You're making me wealthy in an emotional, mental, and spiritual way, not money wise. Anyone who knows me knows the money that I make goes to so many other people quietly. Quietly. I don't really talk about what I do with that, but I still live a simple life. hmm I still live a simple life. So when people think like, oh, but I mean, that's a lie. You've said that you have been told you're destined to become the wealthiest person alive. Yeah, not off sessions. I'm going to be the most well-paid public speaker. I'm going to fill stadiums. And not because you paid to join, but because the corporations who want to be attached with me, with the gravity of what I've come to this earth to bring, they will be paying me, not you. All those companies that take from us, I will be taking from them. And not in a Robin Hood kind of way. They will be giving it to me. They will be fighting with each other to be allowed to give it to me. You see how that works? So I'm not attached to this concept of becoming powerful and becoming rich off of the backs of my community. Oh, hell no. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? No, no, nope. That's not how it's going to work. That's not how it's going to work. Allow yourself to receive what is rightfully yours. I am not training myself to become powerful. I am teaching myself to accept this power has existed since I was born. So much has existed within you since you were born. And you've allowed the insecurity of others to silence it, to hide it away, all of this ugliness. Let that go. It's a process. I've been in this process for quite a few years at this point. It's a personal process that I'm in, letting go the programming, letting go of all of that, so that I have the space to receive my birthright. I will displace the wealth. I will displace it because I have no desire to acquire it. When I receive it back, I can use it to completely change the landscape of the world. Not just a city, not just a state, not just a country or a continent, but globally, the entire world. That's the beauty that is being created for me right now. Why would I ever choose to own the very people I agreed to be born to liberate? That makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. So, the other day I was watching videos. I'm gonna have to get going, guys. The other day I was watching videos and I initiated a series of videos that had to do with aliens because I was like, oh, okay, we'll watch about aliens. This dude, I love the way he speaks. It's just like the fifth kind or something like that. I think that's his channel. He speaks with a lovely, very, very lovely accent. Extremely intelligent man. I think that's his channel, the fifth kind. He wears these glasses, and I think he was like a priest or something for a while. And then he kind of brings together his knowledge acquired through his work at the seminary, and also he's like some theologian, like he's profoundly intelligent. Intelligence is just mm, where you're not just reading the content and memorizing it and then regurgitating it. Oh no, that's not intelligence. That's memorization skills. Intelligence is when you can take in information and integrate it with what you already know and allow it to commingle and become a new form of perception. And that's intelligence to me. He's ridiculously intelligent, right? And so I was watching it, and he had a guest on, and his guest was promoting some of his new work. I think he has like a movie series, or like a show series. And then he wrote a book, and all of that, right? Because you should promote the work that you do. You should. It's not enough to receive compensation. You should also begin taking pride in the work that you do, the services that you provide. It's another form of self love and self acceptance. This is what I'm learning. So, what stuck with me is the title of, I think it was his book, Woke Does Not Have to Mean Broke. Is that like woke does not mean broke? Something like that. Woke doesn't mean broke. Something like that. I don't remember his name. Is this African American man. He's deep into like the physics, the astrology, astronomy, aliens. He's also extremely intelligent. It was like these two men talking, knowing how intelligent they both are, is amazing. Amazing. But woke does not mean broke. You have to allow the goodness, the beauty being created for you to enter into your life. Do not refuse any of it. Whether it's circumstance or coin, it does not matter. It does not matter. Do you know how far I've come to be able to say that? What do you mean by this statement? What do you mean by this statement? I need clarity from you, Brandy, because that triggers my religious programming. I've been indoctrinated into an official world religion, the most dominant one to date, since infancy. So, if you could give a little clarity as to what you mean by that, I would deeply appreciate it. And while you're typing out your explanation to give me clarity, I'm going to continue with the last few cards because I'm running out of time. So, metamorphosis in reverse and interference upside down. We're not seeing how this interference is coming in because it's upside down. It's not being delivered in the way that it would normally be delivered. So, it's affecting our ability to go through a metamorphosis, right? It's affecting our ability to allow for the change. Now, there's going to be a light code injection that's coming in. I'm not going to be doing this. This is going to happen gradually. It's not a high pressure injection. It's going to be something that's probably more like non-specific induction than an injection. And this has to do with planetary alignments, portal dates, um, solar, and all sorts of different things. Okay. So, soul separation in reverse, someone's going to be heading back into your life. There's going to be a reconnection between you and a specific soul. I'm not sure what that means. There's nothing in these cards that give a very clear indication that this is like a twin flame type message. But there is a soul that you have a connection to that will be returning. You will be reconnected. And this reconnection is going to help your intuition. It's absolutely going to help your intuition and be the very thing that helps to push your growth along, really just allowing for that growth to occur organically. Sometimes we need people who will trigger us in our lives, and it might be an intentional or unintentional triggering, but sometimes we need that type of presence to trigger processes. And once that process is triggered, you're still going to be the one to really need to decide which options, how you're going to experience this, whether you're going to flow with it or resist, all of that. You're still going to be the one to decide all of that. You have to use good judgment. Judgment is necessary. People would tell you that judgment is bad, it's wrong, don't be judgmental. I mean, we've all heard that before. But here's the thing, judgment is a very crucial component of discernment. You need it to be able to discern what is healthy and what is not, what you should and should not do, what you should and should not say, all of these different things. So you're going to need to begin exercising that judgment, right? Card number 12, dispel darkness, but it's in reverse. So it's not that you have to get rid of the darkness, it's that you have to get rid of the darkness that embodies toxicity. There's a lot of different forms of darkness and shadow, and you have to begin clarifying for yourself what is what in your life, right? Thank you for clarifying that. The Bible speaks of the one who comes and changes the world. It says the Antichrist. I'm not saying anything bad. Well, thank you for clarifying that, but I'm not an Antichrist. I'm not even a Christ. I'm Oraf. I'm not Christic. I'm Oraf. I'm from the Orphim. Now, as much as I've allowed myself to exit and detach from religious indoctrination, I do still have within me certain areas that can be triggered that carries the stigmas of specific words and concepts. And I'm grateful for that clarification because that did trigger it. And it doesn't come from a place of anger, it comes from a place of realization that that still exists within me. And therefore, I needed clarification so that I can correct that within me. Right. So there's nothing wrong with people communicating things that trigger you. This is a very prime example of how you can take that triggering and request clarification and allow that clarification to then be that launching pad from which to dive deeper and reach higher in your acceptance of yourself, in your awareness of what still needs your attention and correction and all of that, you know? So, um, a lot of what's going on right now has to do with the shifting of your perception and your willingness to enter into a space of your true power. Your true power. My existence is not proof of us being devoid of divinity. My existence does not contradict the existence of a divine creator. It's proof of it. Who do you think created me? All the work I do is in support of your realization, your remembrance that a divinity exists, and this is not the only life you have. But despite that, despite this being one of many, many lives that you have lived and will continue to live, make this a good life. Be the best version of you you possibly can be. Stop allowing outdated manuals of indoctrination to be the very thing that continues to perpetuate your mental slavery. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Just because it says it in the Bible does not necessarily mean I have to accept it. Now, when that same teaching, that same sentiment is reiterated in the Nag Hammadi, yeah, I might start to listen. When it's reiterated in multiple esoteric texts from multiple nations, multiple continents who have existed in complete separation from those other teachings, yeah, maybe I'll start to believe it and listen to it. There's not one singular thing that is absolutely right. Now, when multiple things that are separate from each other begin to have the same teaching, same lesson, same message, we're going to have to start listening to that. I used to think I was demonic. I used to be worried that I was demonic, right? I used to be worried that my existence is evil because my Catholic upbringing does not give me permission to exist. It tells me that God created all things, but somehow, for some reason, the time I was created, God had an off day, I guess, and made me into an abomination. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. As a matter of fact, I believe that when God made me, God was probably coming to a realization that whatever exploratory circumstance was playing out was probably needing a correction and neutralization. And so God gave me extra large balls and extra large personality, gave me fearlessness and courage, gave me the ability to communicate in a way that reaches down to the heart of your soul, not just your body, but your soul. And then God decided, let's put it in a small package and let's make it Asian. They'll never see this one coming. And I think about it now and I laugh. I laugh because for my height, my feet are fairly large. I'm like hobbit proportions, big feet, small body. And I used to be really grossed out by feet because it's like my feet are so big, they're gross. They say your feet should be from your elbow to your wrist. My foot is from my elbow to my fingers. That's a big ass foot. Better to kick you in the ass with. It's hard to knock me down when I'm so well rooted with big ass feet. Huh? And that's the thing. That's the thing. The things about me that I used to be ashamed of because it just comes out of nowhere and I try to control it and I try to quiet it down. It just comes out of nowhere. And now I just tell myself when that part of me comes out, I kind of just have to laugh a little bit and be like, God was right. They didn't see that one coming. All right. He says it's time to go. I got to go for real. Big things today. I hope all of you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. May you feel empowered by everything that I say. May you find your sovereignty. May you find your path. And may you always know, even if you walk away from me when you need me again, I'm here. I'm here. And I'm never going away. Never. So, guys, give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye, everyone.